Morning, how are you?
Hi, good morning. How can I help you?
I'm on the docket today. I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to get that in front of the judge when we get called.
Okay, so
It's just the.
did you?
I didn't,
Okay, let me. have
it's
it
just
in
an
here.
order.
Just the order.
It's not a motion.
Got you, okay.
Um,
I don't have them on the docket today.
Alberto Camacho.
You filed for yourself.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jason, how are you?
Diana,
I have no answer.
I tell you, yesterday, we were here till 5. I completed every email. And I have 200 more emails. It's just a never ending story of email.
200 emails, Judge?
Yes, 200.
Oh my God.
It is constant emails. And then some of the emails are not emails, really. It's sort of a junk email.
Yeah.
But then I can't complain because sometimes we have meetings and I'm saying, in my mind, this is a meeting that could have been handled by email. But
Okay.
and Don, I'm gonna find out which room you're in. It's gonna be a hunt. Ah. See, look at you giving me hints about which room you're in.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, docket will be called at 9. It is 9 o'clock. The clock just turned. All right, when I call your name, let me know you are here. And it will be helpful to everyone is when your name is called, if you'll stand. All right, in custody, we have Ernest Morales, Theodore Ayub. All right, thank you. How do you pronounce your last name? Ayub. All right, thank you. In custody, we have Nicholas Ramos, Aiden Garcia, Jacob Borrego. Thank you. In custody, we have Michelle Zuniga, Damon Hill. All right, see, people not listening to instructions. Everyone, it's easier for the deputies to see you, easy for me to see you. If when your name is called, if you can stand, so that way people don't have to search for you. In custody, we have William Chapman, Austin Gibson, Igor Alinsky, Alicia Small. In custody, we have Zachary Guerrero, Aaron Sturm. Thank you. Tamar McIntyre, custody. Jose Sanchez, custody. Victor Garcia, custody. Zachary Noel Guerrero.
He's in custody.
Oh, thank you.
He's in custody.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. And see, you even stood. Thank you. Deputy Laura, can you make sure that he was called over?
Yes, Your Honor, he's in the NTR docket.
Okay, thank you. Rudy Luna. And Deputy Laura, everybody who's not here they'll need to be in the box because there's no line or any reason. Sarah Elizabeth Gutierrez. Brian Maldonado. It's going to be a crazy Friday Eve today. Jose Perez. Clarissa Shepard. Thank you. And custody is Kevin Zavaggio, Renee Rodriguez, David Cerna, Ikali Brooks. Thank you. How do you pronounce your first name? Ikali. All right, thank you. Loretta Holmes. Thank you. Alberto Camacho. Thank you. Christopher Esquivel. All right, is there anyone whose name was not called? Well, that's a first. All right, so everyone, these are the rules of the court. If you have a client who's in custody, request that they come out. Once you request that they come out, please do not leave the courtroom because there's a limited number of deputies. For security reasons, only a certain amount of people can be in the box at one time. If you have a client who wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, yes, an interpreter needs to be called down, whether you speak their language or not. To my left, files for criminal trial division. To my right, files for family violence. Just grab your file from that box, place it on the prosecutor's desk, have a seat. They're going to call you in the order of appearance. There is something going around, flu, COVID. There's super gonorrhea now that there is no cure for. I see some people's heads popped up. I hope that's not a sign of anything, but
Happily married, Judge.
yeah, but there is no cure for that. So make sure that you keep your distance a little bit from people because the holiday season is coming up and I'm sure everybody wants to be able to enjoy their holiday season. To my left is the court reporter. Do not put your items on top of her desk or where she's seated. Do not lean on any of that equipment. That equipment costs over $10,000. If you damage it, you will have bought it and you're going to have to pay for that immediately because, as you all know, we're in court every day and she has to take a record. To my right, at the back, is the probation officer. Vashon, would you raise your hand? That is her office. We're going to treat it as though there are doors and windows to her office. Do not put your items on her desk. Do not lean on her desk. Do not sit on her desk. Do not turn your back to her because she doesn't want to see that. Once you have conferred with the state and conferred with your client and you are ready to approach the court, what you need to do is speak to the clerk. Ask the clerk to pull your file. Once you tell the clerk that, just have a seat. I'm going to call you up in the order of appearance. The only exception to that rule is if there's an interpreter who is called down. And the reason for that is because there are a limited number of interpreters and they need to come in and get out and go to the next court that they're called on. Do not approach the clerk or the coordinator while we're on the record. Attorneys, how do you know we're on the record? Because I will have called the style of the case, state of Texas versus. If you have a client in the box and we're on the record, do not talk behind the court reporter. Just ask the deputy, they'll move your client to the end and you can talk to them down there. Because it's Friday's Eve, let's try to make everybody's job as easy as possible. I know a lot of us thought we would be retired by now. We're not. We're probably not going to be able to retire till we're 80 or 90. We're just going to accept that. We're going to put smiles on our face. We're going to confer with joy in our hearts. So everyone, please confer.
So.
All right, Alberto Camacho. And your client's in the center and you're on that side.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
You can see that confused look on my face. What do I read?
All right, so have you received his order?
So, Judge, I took a look at it right before we came up here. So,
Do you have any objection to it?
no, Your Honor, it's the misdemeanor standard staining blood discovery order, so,
All right, and does this case involve blood discovery?
or breath discovery, sorry.
Yeah, but that should be the blood one unless I.
All right, this is said blood testing. So was blood testing done?
Yes. Correct. You gave a blood test, right?
I thought that was the good one.
Judge, I filed the wrong motion. I will.
Okay, I will write void on this one.
Yes, sorry.
Do y'all happen to have a
Rather here.
order, standing order?
No, Judge.
I can get one probably downstairs. Some of the courts have them printed out and I can modify it, Judge.
All right, so I just wrote void on this one. Is everyone okay with that?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
fine, Judge.
All right.
I apologize, Judge. I'll get that up.
Hey, it happens. I will tell you from November 13th in the docketing sheet, it says breath test order and state to review ALR order. So has that been
Yes.
reviewed?
I have provided, oh, go ahead, David.
So Judge, Mr. Roundtree did just provide the order. I mean,
Okay, can everyone please whisper?
sorry, Judge. So Mr. Roundtree did just provide the order. I took a look at it really quickly, but that's all I really had a chance to do.
All right,
Which the order is helpful, but not as helpful as the transcript will be because the order is pretty, as most orders are, brief.
when are you gonna have the transcript?
I would say by January.
January,
I'm gonna be out until January 8th, so by January 8th.
all right. Could I have a reset form, please? All right, I'm gonna have you all come back on January 11th.
Okay.
And before then, that discovery order needs to be filed, all right? Is there any other outstanding discovery?
No,
Judge, I was looking into an issue with body cams. I don't know if there might be one other officer that was involved because they were dealing with another case before this one. And so I was just gonna double check on the body cam.
Okay. Let me write this. And that order that you have is gonna be filed today?
yes, Judge, as long as I can get one downstairs, I'll bring it right back.
Okay, and then maybe some body cam?
Yes, Judge.
Other than that, anything else?
I don't believe so, Judge.
All right, so what's gonna end up happening, Mr. Camacho? On January 18th, I'm gonna already have that order and it's gonna already be signed today. The state is gonna see if there are actual body cam videos. The transcript on January 8th needs to be turned over if you want the state to review it on that day. And then the next date I'm going to give you is going to be a date for the state to tender an offer. And then there's going to be a quick turnaround for a plea deadline date. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Let me fill out your reset form and then after that, you will be excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right. Whenever I see the name Camacho, I think of the boxer.
That's right.
Yeah.
You a boxing fan, Judge? Because
I was a boxing fan.
Mm.
I don't like today's boxing because it really doesn't seem to be a science. It's just 100% brutality.
Right.
I grew up in the days of Sugar Ray Leonard,
Right.
Muhammad Ali.
Right.
So
I understand.
I can't believe it's almost 2024.
Not long, Judge.
All right, once your client signs this, if you'll go around
Oops, sorry, Judge.
and turn that in, he will be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I put January 11th on there?
You did.
Okay, thank you.
And that's what you wanted, right?
Yes.
Oh, just sorry, right? Come here. Okay. I'll meet you outside. Okay. I'll see you, but you may be busy when I bring that order back.
Yes.
If I don't see you.
Approach. But you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year
I will.
and a Happy Festivus and a Happy Kwanzaa and Happy Holidays.
Yeah,
So I do the Happy
Got it all
Holidays, so I don't miss
There you go.
anything.
appreciate it. I spent all that time this morning jamming that thing up. See.
How are you? Yeah, that's what you did. I'm curious. She had it.
Oh, that's today.
Okay, Diana, you told me to start at the bottom, and I did. You're a trickster today. I did. And then I said, I looked in room 8 and room 7, and then I said, no, I'm starting at the top. And then you're in room 3.
It seems a little quieter here than usual. There's usually people, there's a good line already. Oh.
Is there something like
Well, so we're ready to go on Sarah Gutierrez.
you want me to pull Sarah to do this one? What you need?
Morning. Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, they just said. Okay, I can get it.
Sarah Gutierrez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so where are we on this case? Hello.
Your Honor, at the last setting, we had requested a referral for a competency evaluation. We have appeared before Judge Carruthers. He did order an evaluation for competency. We're just waiting for her to be scheduled for that evaluation.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a reset date.
I can do January 11th.
All right, we'll see you back on January 11th.
Okay, thank you.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
And thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
All right, thank you.
Polly Brooks. Hello. All right, so has an offer been tendered in this case?
Not just yet, Judge.
Why not?
So it's technically a first setting. It says second setting. I think it was just recalled from the original time it was set. We've discussed some options that I need to converse with the complainant's family before I can formally tender the offer.
Yes, just the last setting was a motion hearing to allow my client to go back to Idaho.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
can I have this reset in 30 days?
Yes, ma'am, I can do. I can do the 9th.
I am set number 1 for trial in Comal on the 8th. Can we do it the following week on the 15th or the week of the 15th?
Sure.
Oh, we're talking again. Okay.
Okay.
Or later, whatever works.
I can do the 16th, is that, the 15th is a holiday, huh?
Yes.
16th.
All right.
My client, maybe?
Yes. Are you coming from Idaho? All right. Any objections to him appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
That would be great. Thank you, Judge.
Sure. All right, Nor, on that reset form, that defendant is allowed to appear by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Nobody told me you were from Idaho. Usually with persons who are not in the state, I allow them to appear by Zoom unless there's some sort of objections. And of course, if there's a jury trial, then people have to be here. But that's expensive.
Yes.
Did you drive?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty expensive. And the seats, the spaces are getting cramped.
Are they?
Oh,
I've
yes.
flown in a while.
Well, I always try to get the emergency exit because you have more legroom, but the problem with that is there's nowhere for you to put your bag underneath.
Oh.
And you have to pay more for it. I personally think that if I'm on the exit row, you're asking me to do extra work, so I should get a discount, right? Or at least get some peanuts. They don't even give you snacks anymore. It's always like, we don't have time for snacks. Or drinks. It's United. They're saying we don't have time for that.
You gotta go Southwest, Judge. They give you snacks every time. I get
Yeah, they
snacks.
do.
Southwest doesn't fly to Louisiana.
Oh,
At least it doesn't fly to where northern parts of Louisiana. Every place flies to New Orleans, but
I mean, of course.
yeah, but no, it's expensive. And I'm just like, and you know, people always ask me, oh, can you assist if need be? And you know what I whisper and tell the flight attendant? Don't worry, if the plane goes down, I'm gonna pretend like we're all gonna be just fine. I'm gonna tell her, oh, relax, we're all gonna survive. I'll have the door for you. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm just gonna say a prayer, maybe try to call my mom. But otherwise, we're not making it.
It's like, we're all gonna die. Give me a second here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thanks for dressing appropriately for court. Everyone, the court is recessing today exactly at noon. And Dinah, I mean that. We're gonna recess exactly at noon. Oh, no, cut me out. You know what? Just leave. Just leave. Yeah, in the middle of a plea. And I'll look over and I'll say, wait a minute, the real time has stopped. I'm not reading anything.
Well, we have a line on this already, but I'm gonna. Oh, yeah. You're looking good.
All right, they're pretending like they're gonna do a San Antonio to Austin passenger rail. We'll see if that happens. Yes, what are you approaching on? Do I have a file?
Well, Judge, this is a.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's do this with regards to this letter. See if you can have this person come in, or either they can appear by Zoom. And then we'll go from there.
I did. Did call me yesterday. I'm trying to find out the research that I was looking at that making Tuesdays. But
Oh, no. And you know, I was thinking, maybe I need to, it seems like maybe they're getting a little desperate. Maybe we all need to give up our jobs and sign up.
I think real.
If it is real, then I will sign up for the military, because obviously people, okay, so you sign up, will you sign up?
As soon as my little girl turns 18, I will.
Okay,
So I got 9 years.
all
Kill
right.
me if I left.
Well, I will sign up as soon as you sign up.
9 years from now.
Okay. That 9 years is gonna go by very quick.
Did you want to be talking to, I mean, this is just a copy. Do you want to put this in? the file?
Yes.
We'll work on getting contact with them and then.
Was it called that today?
Okay.
Was it on the document?
No,
I don't-
it's not on the document.
Oh, okay.
And Jason, at your daughter's wedding, you can play the song Butterfly Kisses. When I was growing up, that was the big hit. And everybody was playing that, and all the guys were just boo-hooing and crying. Have you heard the song Butterfly Kisses?
Sing it.
It takes his, oh, yeah, right. It is almost as sad as Patches.
Yes, sir.
It takes the guy from the time his daughter was born and how she would dance on his feet. And then it gets to the part where he's like giving her away. You don't know that he's giving her at the wedding. I thought she had died. That's how sad the song was.
When the wedding happens, it feels like the way.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So there you go. Oh, I think Jason does need a Kleenex right now.
Not
Yeah.
SID number, she's only got one code. SID number is 1170599.
Yeah, Diana, the only song that's probably sad, well, there are a lot of sad songs. Sadie is sad. Butterfly Kisses is sad, but it's bittersweet. But Patches is extremely sad.
And the what? Of November?
On the back and check that that's what I have here.
She's we're trying to get her into mental health care. She's got some serious problems right now. I'll try to reach her. And I need to give a deed page on the other one. Approach about a bond. 2023 CR 3928.
Yeah.
That's one of the better.
2020. 3928. 3928. Just confirm with the state. I have two of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Nicholas Ramos. Will be ready for him to sit out. I don't know if you said the Docket. I looked through that. Oh, no. Okay, you can email it to me. I can. What? Oh. Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Like a shirt.
yes, yes. Yeah, look at that, yeah. I'm a fan of sports.
Very much looking forward to it. Let's hope it works out.
Okay, so if it doesn't work out,
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
have fun,
All right.
as much fun as I can. That's what I'm gonna do if it does work out.
What are you gonna do if it does work out?
As much fun as I can.
That's gonna be awesome, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. We have a good group going, so. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, oh yeah. Quarter on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll do.
From William Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
We approach. Or do we need to keep that?
Good times.
So. Let's make it.
Those.
Can you check on this case and see if he's out? Thank you. On the first one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Shepherd Park, yeah, give me 1 second.
All right, so
Yes,
De Los Santos, is he out here?
Judge, that's off docket.
The only problem is I need him here because there are certain questions that I need to ask of him before I can grant this based upon the new law.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you want, if you take it to Judge Nahara, he may be able to do it quicker. All right, if you want to do that, you can.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Legal.
I gave you the back. Oh, this is what it is. Yes.
Kevin Savaggio. Robertson. Norma.
Yes, ma'am.
The attorney on Dela Santos. He's going out the door. Hi. If you want, we can see if the deputies can have him brought over.
I'm gonna see him this afternoon, Judge, I'm gonna make an offer on it, and we
Okay.
that may be more expedient.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right. What is happening with this case? Where are we?
Judge, we're looking for a trial setting.
All right. So an offer was tendered,
Yes, it was.
and are you rejecting the offer and asking for a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How long do y'all expect this trial to last?
Couple days, Your Honor.
Does that include jury selection?
3 days.
Okay.
With punishment, I'd maybe 4.
Our people are
Maybe
just
5.
adding. And then with,
I don't think there
pace,
would be
10
many
days.
witnesses, Your Honor. I think max there would be 1 to 2 lay witnesses, so.
all right, Ms. Ferguson, on Kevin Savaggio, we need a jury trial setting, 3 days. How do you pronounce your last name?
Right, Savaggio.
Savaggio.
Yes,
See, I
sir.
didn't realize how the Gs were.
And that's where everybody wants a big silent usually, so.
3 Gs?
It's 2 Gs.
Oh, I thought you said. From Sicily, Jack.
I can do March.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave it at that.
All right, it's March 5th.
That's fine.
I don't think that is.
That's
spring break,
not
right?
spring break. No, Your Honor.
All right, so you're gonna be set for jury trial on March 5th. Court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you'll have to plea open to the court. You'll be brought over dressed in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll need to sign a clothing exchange with your attorney. If there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know and we'll see if we can expedite that. Is there anything else from either side? All right, so I need an acknowledgement of discovery sign.
I'll get that, Judge.
All right, take a look.
No, we just.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 3133B, State of Texas versus Nicholas Ray Ramos. Can I have the parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Anthony Cantrell for the defendant.
And Judge, just before this, I know that we have witnesses that we were gonna call. If I could just have a moment just to speak with them.
Oh, well, just before we do that, just one moment. In the PSI report, have you all read the PSI report?
I haven't had a chance to do
Oh,
that.
he's saying he didn't do this.
Well,
I mean, that's what he says in the PSI report. In the PSI report, he's, just so everybody can know, in the PSI report, he says he caught an Uber to his friend's house, the victim. And the victim knew he was struggling, didn't have any money and clothing. And so the victim gave him money and clothing and paid for an Uber for them to leave. And then lo and behold, he wakes up and he has charges for aggravated robbery. He doesn't know why, because he didn't rob anybody. So you all may want to discuss whether or not this should be a jury trial. So,
no, Judge, we don't want this to be a jury trial.
all right, so I'll let you all, he says he needs to read the PSI report, and then we'll find out if your client wants a jury trial. Yes. Can I see the files? Did I write them in the phone? And what's the name of that defendant?
Don Garcia, he's on page 31.
Okay,
Judge, can I approach?
yes. No, no problem. Oh my gosh. That has happened to me before. You know, I was driving and a nail got in my tire and you could see the tire on the screen going flat immediately. So then it was like just trying to get to a location. Thank goodness they came out.
But it could have been raining, that could be worse, right?
Oh, it could always be worse. So Criminal Trial Division on Aiden Garcia. That's on page 31. That case has been reset to January 8th.
I spoke with the defense yesterday, Judge.
Yes. I did not know he spoke Farsi. Did you know that?
No.
Yes.
And Arabic.
In Arabic.
Wow.
And it's always hard to find an interpreter who speaks Farsi. We always have to go to the military.
Yeah. Judge, on that other contested MTR in Guerrero, defense attorney called me. I don't know if he got called Norma. He said he was gonna be running late this morning.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, he is. That's what he said. Judge, from this one.
Oh. Oh, all right, thank you. Yeah. All right, then I've done that. Does anybody have whiteout or not? All right, thank you. Ah, thank you.
Just need a couple minutes to get to the ID, but then we'll be.
Wave at me when y'all are ready.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Norma, you wanted something?
Yeah. Just make sure before I.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good. I've been bringing my client out, for the state. They're not ready to feel. I'm just gonna check in the building, since let them know I'm here, and then come back. This is the car, this is just the first 7 minutes. So, yeah, let them know. in 10 minutes. Other than that, we're.
Just let me know when you come back in so I can take a bottle.
Okay, it's okay. I'm sorry, I thought. Mr. Agnew, what's fine. Camera copy type with 2 intentions delivered. Is that AU? Pronounced AU. AU, how you doing? AY. AY. Pronounced AU. How you doing? Thank you.
What this? No, because he's completed everything, that's what they said.
Okay. I just wanted more stuff.
So has he had a court setting?
Yeah.
Mhm. So, okay, so when is that bench trial set? No, it just says, well, wait a minute. No, because it has November 20th. That's it.
It doesn't show on this part.
What do you know? I was here. Doing my work.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Oh, all right, so.
Yeah, you know, Angela, let her know that.
Yes, ask them when they're scheduled their bench trial, if they're doing a bench trial. And if the doctor says that he's competent, he's competent. So just do a quick turnaround on the settings after their bench trial. All right, thanks.
We're doing paperwork on Mr. Reed.
Just go back in there. I mean. The CD?
Garcia, he's here. You have to tell the judge. The chief said, get mad at me. Who's been this time? Yeah, no, that's. I want pleasure. You know what? It's like, that dog. Get that high. Yeah. I paid. So I'm here for the.
Victor Garcia.
Present, Your Honor.
All right, so on this case, has the sanity been done or no?
Judge, I checked with I talked to Norma, I checked yesterday with the Judge Carruthers court. They indicate that Dr. Jumis has gotten this referral. My understanding from my client is he has even talked with Dr. Jumis on the sanity, but we don't have a report. I was trying to get a hold of him yesterday, today. I have not gotten a hold of him, left messages. So I don't have a report on a sanity situation, but my understanding is everything should have been done.
Just one moment. Can you mute us, please? Could attorneys approach? All right, we are going to go on the record in 2022 CR 11858, State of Texas versus Victor Garcia. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Anna Ochoa Nelson.
Miguel is announced for the defense.
All right, and are you Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, where are we on discovery?
Yes, Judge. In review of the file, I did notice that we were missing a cell phone dump. I have requested that from SAPD, so hopefully that will be in shortly. That is for the complainant's cell phone. In addition, Judge, Dr. Jumis's competency report indicates there was a stay by defendant at University Hospital. I'd like to subpoena those records as well, so I'll make sure that gets done today.
Okay. All right, any other discovery?
Not that I know of right now.
And just, we would ask for just time once she gets it to be able to look at it. And if we need an expert, I would like to be able to get an expert to look at it if need be.
All right. Okay, so we can go off the record. So we're waiting for the phone call from Dr. Jumis. And since Dr. Jumis did the sanity evaluation and it appears there was a competency evaluation done, those doctors may actually have the university records because usually they will get all of the doctor's records and everything else. So they may have the records and it may be an easier route to go that way. But if you all just hang around just for a moment so I can make sure I give us a date. If you need to go to another court, do you need to go?
Yes, just real quick.
No, don't rush. You can go to another court. And then once he calls me, we'll have you come back.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank
I'll be
you.
back. Judge, we're ready again.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 3133B, State of Texas versus Nicholas Ray Ramos. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? All right, and are you Nicholas Ray Ramos?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The defendant entered a plea on October 23rd of guilty to the offense of aggravated robbery. According to the plea bargain agreement, there are no applications and punishment is be assessed at a cap of 16 years in the prison. And there are several cases that are being taken into consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Your Honor. We have, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense, I note in the PSI report things that your client has said, which is that he has no idea where these charges came from. And specifically, what he says in the PSI report, and the reason why I want this on the record is because I want to make sure that your client actually wishes to continue with this plea. What he said, as to the instant offense, the defendant stated he was at his home on this date when the victim reached out to him and wanted to hang out. He stated that he agreed to go over to his home. He stated that he got an Uber to the victim's home and a friend ended up going with him. He stated while at the victim's home, he offered him some clothes and money. He stated that the victim knew he was struggling and offered to help him. He stated that the victim even allowed him to wear his jewelry. He stated that he left the location and went to a nearby park. He stated that he did not end up going back home. He stated that the victim sent his friend some money so that they could Uber back home. He stated that later that day, the victim contacted him and told him that he needed his items back. He stated that he ignored the victim. He stated that he later found out that he had a warrant for this case when he attempted to make a payment to his bondsman for another case he has pending. He stated that he called the victim and confronted him about the allegations. He stated that he was later arrested for the instant offense. The defendant denies the allegations of him using or having a gun, but did admit to keeping the victim's clothes and other items.
And that is correct. It is in the PSI report, and I'll ask the court to also focus on page 5 of the victim impact statement. So, Judge, there was multiple felony cases that were plea bargained in this case that the state took into consideration and dismissed, and that's why we went forward with this case. So my client has stated that he doesn't want to go forward with this case. There were many concessions made by the state of Texas on this particular defendant, so that's why we want to go forward.
All right, Mr. Ramos, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Nicholas Ray Ramos.
All right, Mr. Ramos, do you wish to go forward with this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You do not want a jury trial?
No, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you.
all right. Are there any witnesses from either side?
No, Your Honor, we were informed that the witnesses made PSI statements that were contained in the PSI.
All right, then any witnesses defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear argument. State?
Judge, there are numerous cases that have been taken into consideration in order to reach this case, or in order to reach this plea agreement. I know that the defendant is young, pretty early in his life, but in that short amount of time that he's been an adult, he has racked up numerous arrests and various cases, again, were taken into consideration. I think that it's the nature of those other charges and the fact that even while on probation or deferred on those charges, he still was picking up other cases. My understanding is that he was on probation when this all happened. So we would ask that you hit the cap, Judge, of 16 years.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, obviously, my client is very young, and he'll admit that he has made some serious mistakes. He has a young daughter now, that he has not even had a chance to see at this point. One of the things I want the court to consider, and when the court pronounces sentence in this case, the co-defendant in this case was sentenced to 8 years TDC. And we think that's appropriate, given the circumstances. Yes, my client was involved and I shouldn't say was involved, but has been charged with other cases. The district attorney's office made a commitment to dismiss those cases, and they have done so. Judge, with respect to this particular case, the complainant's father has stated that the victim in this case was not hurt, but he did not get his property back. So in light of that, his age, we'd ask the court to consider an 8-year sentence, which is what the court saw fit when the court pronounced sentence on the co-defendant in this case.
Judge, if I may, the co-defendant was sentenced in the 187. There's a stark difference between that co-defendant and this defendant. That co-defendant did not have nearly as many cases that were being taken into consideration. So that was something that drastically changed what was happening in that situation versus this situation.
All right, and just so everyone knows, and I know both attorneys know, I look at cases individually. So, Mr. Ramos, is there anything you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I've been incarcerated 8 months. I know I did what was wrong. No, whatever I did, I know it caused me to come in this courtroom today.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing.
My bad. I know whatever I did caused me to come in this courtroom today, and I know it caused a lot of harm to different people's families and stuff. I had more than enough time to think about what I've done. I just try to get back home to my little girl. That's it.
All right, so how old is your child?
2 months and a week and a half.
So why didn't you think about this beforehand?
Comment on it.
I'm sorry?
I have a comment on it, Your Honor.
Why are you out committing crime? I don't understand. And I'm asking you these questions because I'm trying to figure out what will be the appropriate sentence for you. The state and the defense will tell you. State and defense, they come up with their agreements. This is their agreement that I can sentence you up to 16 years in prison. So I'm asking you these questions so I can make a decision on what to sentence you to. And that's a lot of time because the range of punishment for this offense is, because they've capped it at 16, is 5 to 16 years. So that's what I can sentence you to. So I'm trying to figure out what is your thought process and why you're out here committing crimes and violent crimes. I mean, did you wake up one day? I always think of people who appear before me when they were in elementary school. Did they wake up one day and decide, hey, I want to be a criminal?
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, where did you go in your life that you decide, hey, I want to be a criminal? And I'm looking at your criminal history. Your criminal history is outrageous for a person your age. And I don't know if the misdemeanor, when you were placed on deferred adjudication, in that case, I don't know if something could have put you on the right path from there. We have the burglary of vehicles, not vehicle. There's a lot going on. And then there's an assault bodily injury case that's pending in County Court 15. So I'm trying to figure out, what is your issue?
I guess I had a bad crowd around me. I ain't really had nothing for a little while. I ain't have no structure.
Oh, don't come to me with the structure thing, because there are a lot of people who don't have structure. And when you mentioned the bad crowd, I guarantee you the person who got 8 years, when they said they were running around with a bad crowd, they were talking about you.
Yeah.
So since you brought up structure, what do you mean you don't have structure?
I ain't had nowhere to go. I ain't had no financial support.
How about getting a job?
I ain't had nothing to get a job. I was old enough to get a job and I had more than another chance to get a job, but I have no ID. I have no social security, none of that. I done lost all that.
So why didn't you have an ID?
Uh, I lost it while I moved out the house a little while ago.
So why are
Years
you
ago.
moving out the house? Don't want to follow people's rules?
Yes, ma'am.
So your lack of structure is because of you. It appears that somebody was trying to give you structure. And then in the PSI report, it says that you were going back home. So what home was this you were going to?
I was really staying with my friends and my girl at the time.
Where? With who? Who's all in the house? Her parents?
Yeah, me, my girl, her mom, her little sister, her older sister, and her brother.
All right, I still don't understand why parents allow children to live in their home and play house. Just one moment. Sorry. All right, so you can continue.
I don't understand why they would either, but I guess it was, I don't know, I guess it was because I was with her daughter and we were having a baby.
Okay, I'm sorry. You need to put the mask down.
I don't know why they would let me stay at the house either, but I don't know. I don't know. I was with her for a little while, and I guess I had a good relationship with her family.
But you still haven't explained to me why you're going out committing a bunch of crimes. Because you were placed on deferred adjudication. And I will tell you now, whenever you're placed on deferred adjudication now, it's different from when I first started practicing. Back then it was you're on your own. But usually they will say, oh, you don't have an ID? Let us help you get your identification. Oh, you don't have this? Let us help you get this. So your response to not having your identification or having anything was to throw up your hands and start committing crimes. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with you. Do you deserve 16 years?
No, ma'am.
Oh, why not? And the question I'm asking you, your attorney will tell you, I ask a lot of people these questions. And so I want to see where your head is at. What do you think you deserve for committing an aggravated robbery, stealing from somebody who was trying to help you by giving you clothes, by giving you food, and according to you, paying for your Uber to and from their house?
Years.
Oh, okay, you're saying 8 years, did you, because I'm not even going to interfere with attorney-client. So why do you think you deserve 8 years for pulling a weapon on somebody and taking their items? Let me put you into this situation so you can understand better. Do you love your girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you love your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's say your girlfriend and daughter are at their home minding their business, and one of her girlfriends comes over because she has a baby and she needs milk and all of the, maybe some clothes for her baby. And your girlfriend say, oh, my daughter is now 2 months old. I have some 1-month-old clothes. Here you go. Here's some clothing. Here's some money for you. And then that friend's like, oh, thank you. And then that friend pulls a gun on your girlfriend with your baby there and takes her items. What do you think that person should deserve? And that's an aggravated robbery that she would have just committed. And the range of punishment for that is 5 to 99 years or life in prison. What do you think that person deserves? Not talking about you, talking about the fact scenario where your girlfriend's best friend comes over, pulls a gun on her and takes items. What do you think she deserves?
The sentence,
I'm sorry, what?
more than 8 years.
More than 8 years? Well, why? Because you know what? Maybe she doesn't have her ID. Maybe she's not able to get a job. Why shouldn't she just get 8 years? And you know what? Maybe she's running around with the wrong crowd. Why shouldn't she get 8 years? Because she's with a bad crowd. She doesn't have her ID. She doesn't have a place to stay. She has a baby to take care of. So why shouldn't she get 8 years for pulling a gun on somebody and taking their items after they tried to help her? Because she's just running around with the bad crowd. She just doesn't have her ID and she just needs items for her baby. So why shouldn't she be allowed to just pull a gun on your girlfriend, take items that she wants, and then come before court and say, please just give me 8 years, or please just give me deferred adjudication because I'm running around with a bad crowd. I don't have my ID. I don't have my social security card, and I need money, and I don't have a job. You don't want that person to have 8 years because they pulled a gun on somebody you care about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you've done in this case. You pulled a gun on somebody who was trying to help you out, and they have family members that care about them. So, do you still think you deserve 8 years? I mean, you may want it, but do you deserve it?
No, ma'am.
All right, so what do you think you deserve?
Your Honor, may I on his behalf?
No, just 1 second. I want to know, what do you think you deserve? Honestly, look into your heart. What do you think you deserve for what you did to a friend who was helping you out?
10, 12,
I'm sorry,
10 or 12.
why not the full 16? Because it's just too much time? Is it because it's just too much time for you and you can't imagine doing 16 years? All right, any questions?
I don't have questions, Your Honor. I would just ask the court to consider somewhere in the 8 to 10 year range. Judge, my client did not have family structure growing up. I think that's what he was trying to tell you. He couldn't even remember his mother's last name. His father didn't give him much support. He was out on the streets by the time he was 17. He's 19 now. So when he committed this offense, he was basically homeless. He didn't have any place to go. And I would suggest that's probably why he committed these offenses. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I mean, it's definitely wrong. Okay. But he is very young. He's not the smartest kid in the world. And I think he dropped out of school in 7th grade.
All right, why are you dropping out of school? When did you drop out of school?
7.
Why? Mask down so I can hear.
I don't know, I had gone to a fight in 7th grade and I just never went back to school because I was going to alternative and feel like going back to alternative.
All right, they sent you to alternative school because there were issues at what we would call regular school. So that's, people just don't go to alternative school because, hey, let's send them to alternative school. Usually there's some incident that has happened at regular school and you get sent to alternative school, be it for behavior or something else.
And it was a fight.
So it was a fight. So you got sent to alternative school. And when you're sent to alternative school, it's not forever. So you decided not to go back to school. Why not? Do you know in Africa, I watch a lot of TV and watch a lot of documentaries. There are students in Africa who walk to school. They don't have any shoes. They don't have any desk. They sit on the floor with one sheet of paper. They don't have uniforms because they need to pay for their uniforms to go to school. And they sit on the floor because they don't have any desks for them. There's actually an organization called Kids in Need of Desks. And what ends up happening is people give money to that organization. So they actually make desks for the children. And now they've started making shoes for the children. And if you see the smiles on their faces just for the little things. And then here in America, you can go to school for free. And you drop out at 7th grade and commit a bunch of crimes. And now you're bringing a 2-month-old into the world and you have no way to support that 2-month-old other than being a criminal and stealing items. That's a problem. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. Court has already previously taken in consideration the cases that were listed in the agreement. This is going to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 691548, 691549, 694250. Mr. Ramos, I've read the PSI with a fine tooth comb, read the offense with a fine tooth comb, took into consideration the things that the complainant said in the PSI. And I'm taking in consideration your age. I hope that you can get your life together. There's a $500 restitution to Beatrice Gonzalez, which was the deductible. Is there going to be any objection to the court ordering that?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right, there's to be restitution to Beatrice, Beatris. Excuse me, if y'all cannot talk on the back row behind the court reporter, if you need to speak, just move to the other end. Gonzalez, Gonzalez. And the amount of $500. And I'm just checking to make sure there's no restitution to anyone else. Is that the only restitution state in the defense?
Money wise, Your Honor, there was some property that was taken from the victim in this case that was never given back, clothing and things of that sort of thing.
All right, they didn't list an amount for restitution for that.
They didn't, Judge.
All right. All right. Court is going to sentence you to 12 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. I'll ask for the therapeutic community. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and I want to let you know the reason why I'm giving you the 12 years instead of the full 16 is because, one, I don't want you to 100% become institutionalized, because when people go to prison, it's a crapshoot whether or not they're going to be rehabilitated. And when you go to prison at your age, there are going to be a lot of influences at the prison that are not going to be good for you. And I would love it if people would go to prison and they could just do their time and not be bothered by anyone else, but you may end up being bothered by other people. You're going to have to keep your nose down. Do not become institutionalized. And while you're there, you're going to have to start thinking more about what got you there. And what got you there is not the fact that you don't have your ID or you're running around with the bad crowd, because you're part of the bad crowd. Do you understand? Do you understand? Showing you what's in the Idaho trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Sign.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. And I don't know if I said it previously, but there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and I'm going to do no contact, no in-person contact. with minors. All right,
Thank you very much.
anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Both sides are ready on IU whenever the court is.
Jose Sanchez. And then after that, we'll take care of Borrego, Norma.
Yes, I already put in the motion for this thing.
All right, so where are we on this case?
Your Honor, we're here for two purposes now. The first one is we've subpoenaed some witnesses. We were trying to get to the bottom of some answers regarding a videotape, but before we go there, my client has asked me to let you know he wants to renew his request for a new attorney, so I told him I would let him
I
address
had
it.
put in a motion.
All right, let me ask you this. Is your counsel hired or appointed?
Appointed.
All right, are you gonna hire an attorney?
I'm trying to.
Well, I mean,
I asked him, it's because every time I ask him to do something, he does the exact opposite. I asked him back in September to please get me my bond reinstated so that I could bond out and pay for a lawyer.
Mhm.
And he never did it.
all right, so let me explain something to you about the state of legal services, right? For some reason, attorneys, people think they can do an attorney's job, even though they didn't go to school to be an attorney. And the reason why I say this, listen, you have 2 ears, so listen. The reason why I say this is because people think that all attorneys do is talk, which we do, attorneys do talk a lot. But behind that conversation is a lot of education that they've had to get. And when you compare us to doctors who are doing surgery, you never see a patient going to their doctor if they need heart surgery and telling their doctor, you know what, I know this is the way you say you're going to do the surgery, but I want you to do the incision this way. You know why they don't do that? Because, hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to do incisions. But for some reason, people who have attorneys think that they're an attorney and they want to file a bunch of motions, don't know what the motions mean, because you may file one motion, but there are other things that go with that motion. It's sort of like when people read the Bible and they say, oh, I know the Bible, and they don't realize what you've read in the first book, there is something that goes with that that's in the second book, and you have to combine all of that. So if your attorney hasn't filed a motion, it's probably because you don't need that motion filed. I used to always get, you haven't filed my discovery motions. Where are my discovery motions? And I'm like, state has to turn that over. What? I'm filing a motion and the state is going to say, oh yeah, we turned that over. So that's where we are. And where we are is you're indigent. This is the attorney that has been appointed to you. And what I can tell you about attorneys appointed to represent people, there are certain qualifications that they have to have in order to represent people on certain cases. This is a felon in possession of a firearm. What I can tell you, your attorney is qualified to handle this type of case. Otherwise, he would not be appointed to this case. So if you wanted another attorney, you need to retain another attorney, period. Court is not appointing you another attorney. This will be your attorney. If you speak to him, great. If you don't speak to him, you will probably end up in jury trial with an attorney you have not spoken to. It's completely up to you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a client, you have control over certain things. Whether or not you want to go to a jury trial or not, whether or not you want to testify, whether or not you want to accept a plea, you are not in control of trial strategy. And trial strategy is similar to that doctor that wants to do a heart surgery and you're trying to tell them, well, this is the way you should do the heart surgery. That's similar to trial strategy, and you're not control over that because you don't have the degree and the experience to do it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right, so where are we?
Your Honor, we are back on a discovery issue, and just briefly to summarize, there was a video and audio from the Alamo Heights Police Department. Originally, we asked for it and it said it didn't exist. Eventually, we subpoenaed Alamo Heights in. They were not able to answer the court's simple questions as to
yes,
when the video was destroyed, what is the policy? Are the videos 30 days, 60 days? I have anecdotal evidence that it's 6 months, but anyway, that's not on the record. So they gave us 4 names for Barcom. Barcom is a company, local company that is their IT company.
Mhm.
As the point of contact who could answer all those questions. So I subpoenaed, but they couldn't tell us who there. So I subpoenaed everybody, and then they contacted me yesterday. I said, I don't want to cause any disruptions. I just want somebody, can you tell me if there's somebody there who can answer these questions? There isn't. They just sent somebody today by my, I had made an agreement with them to release everybody. They sent their CEO. He's here to testify. He's not going to be able to answer the court's questions. What he told me was, and he's back there.
Well, let's bring him up.
Yes.
Let's find out who can answer these questions. Hi, good morning. How are you doing today?
Well, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's Friday Eve.
It feels that way.
All right, so there are specific questions. I remember this case that are needed to be answered. Do you know who can answer these questions? Who do we need here to answer these questions?
The people who set it up, it's a company by the name of Big State. They are the ones who installed the camera system. They would have configured how long each of the cameras would overwrite, kind of like a VHS video, right? There's only so much space,
Yes.
and how often each one of those would be overwritten would have been set up by them. Our job is to we're users of the camera system.
Yes.
We turn into the people that can go in and pull video, get the software on computers to access the video, but we don't manage it. It's a gray area, right?
Do you have information that you can impart to the state and defense about who they need to contact so we can find out, 1, if the video was destroyed, 2, when it would have been destroyed, and 3, what is the time frame that videos are allowed to remain before it's purged or destroyed?
Okay, yeah, I don't like to use the word destroyed because
Well,
destroyed
purged.
implies,
Yeah, I know,
purged is a
purged.
much better word.
We'll use purge.
Yeah, we'll use purge, just because destroyed implies like.
See, whenever I think of purge, I think of the movie, so that's why I don't use it. But I understand about purging.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so do you have information of who would have that knowledge?
Here's what I'll do, is I'll go back and I'll talk to our team now that we didn't get, first of all, we didn't get enough details, right? We're just asked a simple question. Well, I can go and see if we have access to figure out what the purging schedule is for each of the cameras. If I can get it, we'll get it directly to them. If not, we will point them, either way, we'll point them in the direction of the people who installed it and manage the system.
So what I want to know is, on this specific case, with this specific defendant, and they'll give you the date he was in the location. If you can tell me when that video or audio of him would have been purged.
Okay, we'll do our piece,
Yes.
and then if we need to, we'll engage the third party.
All right, is there any other question other than that you want answered? Because that's the question I want answered.
No, there's not. That's basically it, judges. Was there video? If so, why can't it be retrieved? Was it purged? And if it was purged, when it was purged? Because that answers the question of whether we should use the word purged or destroyed, which comes later. And that's.
Right. So they want to know, we'll use the word purge. It's
Okay,
fine.
that's fair. No, I wasn't going there. If you don't mind, what we'll do is, I'll go back and look at the dates. I don't know when the first request was. And then we have to work back from that date, not.
Oh,
from,
before they leave here today, they're going to give you the dates when the defense counsel requested it.
Okay.
They're going to give you the date when he was in the facility. And then I want to know, 1, is the audio or video still available? I'm sure it's not.
Right.
If it's not available, I want to know the date it was purged.
Okay.
All right.
Fair.
So how long you think that will take?
A couple of days.
Okay.
I mean, from our part, unless we need to engage the third party, I don't have any control over how
No.
responsive they are.
I just want to keep this on the docket. So you saying a couple of days?
For my piece, if we can get the information, it'll be a couple of days. If we need to engage the third party, then it's a little out of my control unless we can get some of the some push from the court.
All right. So what we'll do, Norma, are we able to set this for December 14th? Is that enough time for your part?
Yes.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll set it for December 14th.
Okay.
How
far do I take this? Like, and then I'm asking this, if my answer is here, we can't get it, and I have that in a couple of days, and I let I'm sorry, I don't know who defense know.
Yes.
Then
We can move this up and I might need some help pushing the third party vendor.
Sure,
The way
yes.
I'm the way I got pulled in here, if you
Well,
don't.
I say let's build bridges,
I
let's not cross the bridge until it's built. So what we'll do, if we're gonna set it for December 14th. If you have your information sooner than December 14th, just let the defense and the state know, and we'll come back sooner than that.
Perfect.
Now, here's my other question. If he can't make it down here and he has the information, are you all okay with him appearing by Zoom, or do y'all want him to be here?
No, Zoom is fine, Your Honor. I tried to work with them around their schedule.
Okay, so if you are not able to come into court, if we need you, you can appear by Zoom if you want to.
That's fine. That's easy.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you're solving problems today. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, you too. They're gonna give you the information.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna come back on December 14th, and if we can come back sooner, we will come back sooner. Just let the court know. So we'll be back on December 14th, okay? And counsel, if you have any bond issues you want the court to consider, I can consider it at that time.
Okay, and I will judge, there was a parole issue from what I was aware of, which is why there was no.
Oh, yes. If he has a blue warrant, he's not going anywhere.
May have been lifted, in which case I'll.
All right, thank you. All right. Norma, on Jacob Borrego, is he in custody or on bond? Jacob Borrego, come forward. What page is he on, Norma?
He's on the NPR touch. He's on page 31.
All right, your attorney's in a jury trial, so we're gonna have to reset you.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
All right, have you been doing your sober meetings?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
All right, and if you're tested today?
I was gonna be positive, but I'm kind of to get off. I was gonna check into a treatment facility sometime this week, but I gotta wait for my daughter to get out of the hospital first.
No, you need to check into the treatment facility now,
Okay.
because this whole thing about your daughter being in the hospital,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be any good to her
Yeah, I
right
know.
now.
Yeah, I know.
So when's the last time you used?
Yesterday.
So you need to go into a facility immediately. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Well, when I come in court next time, I'll be clean. I'll be clean next time. I will. Guaranteed.
All right, state on Borrego. This is your motion to revoke. On this case, he's supposed to be doing sober meetings daily. The case he's on probation for is a state jail felony. His attorney's in trial. And we've addressed this in his attorney's presence before about him getting some sort of treatment.
Yes, Judge.
So Norma, let's recall this for December 12th.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna come back on the 12th.
Mhm.
Ms. Abrams, is there any place you can get him in contact with? As far as any place you can get him in contact with as far as his drug issue? Because he's still using daily. And he's made bond. It isn't as though I can revoke him on his bond.
Yes, sir.
All right, so talk with probation before you leave.
Mhm.
And the next time you come in here, you had better provide me proof that you're doing NA or AA meetings daily.
Mhm.
Because I don't have any proof of that from you.
Okay.
And I don't think you've been doing them, so you better start doing them. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just wait in the back and probation will speak with you.
Mr. Borrego, you need to sign this form. Grab a pen from here and sign it. Where it says defendant. You on the phone.
Theodore, are you? Hello.
Hello.
All right, we're here for sentencing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he plead on two cases or just one?
Judge, I believe he pled on just the one case.
Okay,
Jennifer and opposed to defer, the state was opposed to defer.
okay. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 6786, State of Texas versus Theodore Ayub. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Jason Wolf for defense.
And are you Mr. Ayub?
Yes, Your Honor.
You entered a plea of guilty on October 13th to the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 to 400 grams. According to the agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. State opposes deferred adjudication. They're recommending community supervision, and there are some cases that have been taken in consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
We have, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No objections, just a minor correction, Judge.
All right, correction.
Just the represented that he was minimizing his guilt. I'm not sure exactly why, then maybe they felt that way. Mr. Ayub didn't recall perhaps the baggies and the scales. That was quite really just an honest answer. He is accepting guilt. He pled guilty to this offense. He is prepared to accept the responsibility for that, Judge. And I just don't want the court to believe that he wasn't intending to take any responsibility.
All right, state, you are, I'm sorry, any witnesses from either side?
No, Your Honor.
State you're opposed to the application for deferred adjudication?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm not sure. I know the defendant is asking for deferred. This is a first degree felony though, so if he does screw up on supervision, I feel like we're setting up failure if he does get the deferred, Judge. So that's a long time he's looking at if he's unable to live up to the obligations of probation, Judge. So that's the main reason I was opposed to deferred, Judge. The other thing is these are a lot of charges that I know we just pleading on the one, but we're taking into consideration several charges, Judge. And the one he's pleading on is the possession with intent, but this is more of a this is a drug dealing charge rather than a drug using charge. That's the reason for the opposition to defer, Your Honor.
All right, why should I give him deferred adjudication for dealing drugs?
Well, Judge, there are a number of things that I would like to address. He is taking responsibility for intent to deliver. There was a significant amount of pot related items. I will just remind the court that it is THC related items. He did use some for personal use. He's not denying the fact that there was times in the past where he has sold marijuana to people, but he had no intent that day. I think that's why maybe they thought he was minimizing his guilt. He was just going to enjoy his day with his girlfriend, got caught. He wasn't intending to sell anybody that day. I know it's a nuance, Judge, but a lot of this was for personal use. His previous history, as you can tell, Judge, is cannabis related. The PSI indicates he has a cannabis dependence. I think he is clean now. I think he will continue to test clean, Judge, but they are all misdemeanors. He doesn't have any prior felonies, was never given a felony conviction, placed on felony supervision. I do understand that he picked these up over 2 different offense dates in short order. He really has no excuse for that other than he was making poor decisions. He wasn't taking in the grasp of what could happen to him should he get caught for this. He really just wants to apologize. And I would like him to give a short statement to you why he should be given deferred.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Theodore Ayub.
All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you will be drug tested today.
Negative, Your Honor.
All right, let's do a drug test.
Okay, Judge.
And then I'll come back and I'll make my decision.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused shortly and I'll be right back
Sure.
as well.
Do you
Thank
need any water or anything?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
He did use the restroom this morning, Judge. I was
Okay.
with him when he excused himself.
Sure.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Damon Hill. And after Damon Hill, it will be Aaron Sturm, Victor Garcia, David Cerner, and Tamar McIntyre. Good morning. All right, are you all ready to proceed?
No, Judge, we are asking for a reset as our first setting on the MTR. He's got a nightmare case. We'd like an opportunity to review the discovery. We've conferred with the state. And so I'd just like an opportunity to go over discovery with our client and relay the offer to him and give him some time to think about how he wants to proceed.
All right, how much time are you asking for?
Judge, probably maybe about 4 weeks, if that's okay, 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on this case, can you set it for a contested?
Yes, ma'am.
It is Damon Hill.
Continue January 11th.
All right, January 11th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
May we be excused, Your Honor, once we sign the reset?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I'll just let you know we're ready, right? That we're ready. On Morales, yeah,
What else?
yeah. I don't know where we are in the order, but just to. Oh, thank you. No, we don't. No, he's
Aaron Sturm.
citizen. And that's what happened.
Hello. So,
Judge.
yeah.
Can I just give you a quick update on this term?
Yes.
I asked for a quick reset last week to get in contact with the Bandera community service officer. The officer that she had no longer works there, so I had to get in contact with someone else.
Okay.
It was a touch and go thing, and then as you know, I was out
Yes.
earlier this week. So I don't find that the information that was provided to me is really acceptable. And I would like just a little more time to see about some other resources. Ms. Sturm has indicated that she does have insurance at this point. So we're gonna ask that she also do a little research on her behalf to come up with some other resolutions as well. So I am asking for a 1-week reset.
Okay, and have you been doing your sober meetings?
I have the same.
Okay, daily meetings?
Yeah.
All right, you're looking much better.
Thank you. I feel a lot better.
Okay, awesome. So then what we'll do is we're gonna continue with the daily meetings. And then we will come back. Do y'all want to come back next week sometime?
If we can just do next Thursday, that will, I think, give us both adequate
Yeah,
time.
and she's gonna do her due diligence. We've already talked about what she needs to do, so.
And I do have a person now in Bandera County.
Okay. All right, so we will come back on the 14th. All right, thank you. All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused. David Cerna.
He's still downstairs, Your Honor. He'll be brought up.
All right, they need to bring your client up. Tamar McIntyre. Oh, Mr. McIntyre. All right, so where are we on this case? Last time we were here, it was mounds of discovery.
Well, we still have mountains of discovery. But Judge, at this point, we're still in discussions about possible pleas. This case is, I know, been a little elongated, and I think you might know the history of it. That he was up in Dallas for a while for a case up there, and he just got shipped back here. And then he was in juvenile, and then it transferred over here. We're
So
still,
yes, and it's fairly new
Mhm.
in this court. It was
Wow.
over at juvenile for a long time.
yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And so what we're doing is, I've talked to Mr. Hunter today, and we're still negotiating a possible
to resolve it possibly, but I think we're still at that stage right now that I am caught in between admin and defense. And so I don't know if Mr. Hunter would be asking for an additional 30 days, Judge, just for us to hash that out.
When is it gonna be hashed out?
It
Give
could
me a
take,
date.
it could take a little while to hash it out, Your Honor. I'm not really sure.
What does that mean, a little while?
Well, the first aspect of it is taking stock and making sure that everything that can be done on the Tarrant County conviction has been done. I think we have reached that point, but I need to confirm that with Mr. McIntyre. Whether or not that Tarrant County conviction has a future is a major contributing factor in what settlement looks like would be acceptable to us. But once that has been more solidified, I think that we're certainly open to
Okay,
continuing
so just so
negotiating.
everybody knows, I'm not gonna wait for Tarrant County because I don't know when that's gonna be solved. So the things that we have control over here today in this court, when are y'all asking?
Well, what I would propose is that I think that if settlement's going to come, it would be early in the new year. If settlement can't come, I would hope that we might be able to pick a special date, particularly because I'm carrying Mr. Goldstein's briefcase on this. And I expect that Jerry will be back in San Antonio for trial and all those sorts of things, and not in what he always mentions is the ski season rule, probably in March or April. I would like to see if we could get something specially set for the spring.
I don't do special settings.
Okay.
So it's when you're set, you're probably gonna go. So I'm gonna give you all one final setting, and that final setting is gonna be for all of the discovery to be worked out. That final setting is going to be for an offer to be tendered. And then it's gonna be probably a 2 to 3 week turnaround for a plea deadline date. And then after that, if people want jury trial, we'll give you a jury trial.
That'd be
Sounds
perfect,
good.
Judge. That sounds
All right,
awesome.
Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can you put it for the end of January?
End of January.
And that's discovery. And state on, when we come back on January, you need to be prepared to make an offer.
We will be, Judge.
Okay,
I can do the 30th.
all right.
Perfect.
Do you have any questions, Mr. McIntyre?
No, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna come back on January 30th, so everybody knows where we are. January 30th. All your discovery needs to be worked out, and on January 30th, the state is gonna tender an offer. After they tender that offer, in this court, I do plea deadline dates. So I'm gonna give you a plea deadline date, give you a chance to think of whatever offer is tendered. And then we're gonna come back on that date, and you're gonna let me know whether you're accepting it or rejecting it. If you accept it, we'll do the paperwork. If you're rejecting it, then I'll give you a trial setting. All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, that
All
works
right.
great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Joe Bennett.
And Norma, on McIntyre, is Goldstein gonna be on all these cases? Because it has joined the Hoyos on the other cases.
I think he was only hired on
Last
that
time
one.
she came, I mean, statesman came in for her last
Okay.
time, Judge. I don't know.
I only have him hired on that.
Okay. All right.
Listen, I just want to check the file.
David Cerna? Have they brought him out yet?
He's out here, Your Honor.
Yes, he's here. Yes, have you spoken to him? Norma, on this case, a competency eval had been filed. Was it filed? Can you check the system?
Yeah.
On this case? Oh, you're on this side, counsel.
Okay, sorry.
And this is family violence. On this case, there was a psych evaluation. Has that been filed?
Yes, and it was ordered by Judge Carruthers on November the 14th, Judge, and we don't have those results
Okay.
in yet.
That is correct. Judge.
All right, what
14th.
date?
I can do. I can do. February 8th.
All right, so we'll be back on February 8th
Yes, ma'am.
and we'll see if the results are done.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Just have a seat, Mr. Senator.
Are y'all ready on Ernest Morales? Ernest Morales. Okay, sure, no problem. Yes. And Norma, Tim Molina,
He's the Internal County Judge and he should be on his bed. He's a little late.
Alicia Small.
That's fine, you're.
All right, where is she?
She's here. Well, now she went to the restroom. She was here. I talked around some.
Okay. Rudy Luna.
She's present, ready.
Okay. Oh, well, once y'all pull the file, we will go.
Okay.
Joe Perez. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3512, State of Texas versus Rudy DeLeon Luna. If I can have parties approach and announce for the record probation, this is going to be a probation case for the state.
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Louis Martinez.
Are you Rudy Luna?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge, I have been.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Luna, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Luna, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Could y'all please whisper in the box? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Luna, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. They're asking that the ignition interlock be for half the term of your probation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 10 days in the Bear County Jail, 150 hours community service restitution, and a 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand that those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
And that's without objection, Judge.
All right, and state, you may continue to confer. Mr. Luna, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
No, Judge, we'd like a PSI date after the tap.
All right. All right. Can I get a PSI date, please?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second.
Then counsel, you need to fill out another one of these. Okay.
I can do, Judge, I can do February
All right, it will be February 8th. And the court will order a TAP evaluation as well. Is there anything else? All right, we'll see you back on February 8th. I'll make a decision on your application based upon the PSI report and any other evidence that's presented. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, were you able to provide a UA sample yet? Oh, there is a water fountain in the hallway. We'll get a cup of water for you. Everyone, just give me 5 minutes and then we'll take your matter up.
Can we have one brief exposure to this match section?
All right. Please be seated. Thank you. All right, are you all ready on Ernest Morales? And this is a motion to revoke.
No, to PSI.
Oh, it's a PSI? Thank you. Did he do a plea on 2 cases?
Yes, Judge, and we did the withdrawal of the plea, last time we were here on the theft charge, which I believe is.
All right, there's an issue over his citizenship, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so are you all asking to proceed with the trial or what are we doing here? And Sir, you need to be in the center and your attorney is over here.
Yes. So the agreement, Your Honor, was that we would withdraw the plea on the theft charge. Can I get the case number?
No, I mean, are you all withdrawing the plea on both cases?
No, Judge, just on the theft charge.
So have you conferred with the state to see what they want to do?
No, because, I mean, nothing's changed.
Well, I mean, if you're just withdrawing the plea on one case and you all pled to two, there's still the other case that's out there.
Right, and so nothing is changing, Judge. The only difference is the Padilla letter. It changes kind of for the Padilla letter, whether it's a aggravated felony or if it's a deportable offense.
All right, so I'm trying to, if y'all want to confer, because he pled to a felon in possession of a firearm and theft 30,000, for a vehicle. So I'm trying to figure out, are you all withdrawing pleas in both of those cause numbers?
No, just on the theft one.
So the felon in possession of the weapon, you're saying it will not affect his status?
All of them are deportable, Your Honor, and he's aware of that. Everything is deportable.
All right, so state, you all want to confer?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Have a seat, sir.
Everyone, the court is recessing at noon. So if your attorney is not here, you probably need to pick up the phone and call them because you will be coming back in the afternoon. And we're not going to do a rush the court at 11:50. Yes.
Judge.
All right, how's it going?
Doing well. So I'm conferring, and I know we're gonna get on the record with that, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. So the dates that what are we looking at coming back? Because I'm gonna start a new semester January 3rd. And I think I have a court date January 5th. And I'm trying to push those off a couple weeks so I can get to know my new kiddo. So,
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to see where you fall. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
all right. So I just wanted.
Sure. All right, no problem.
So ma'am, Marietta Holmes. We're ready to make announcements.
Could I see the file on Holmes?
Sorry. Tell you. Tell Norma.
Oh, no, you just asked the clerk to pull the file.
Okay.
Holding the box, don't you?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
It's all
I
right.
was like, really?
Larietta Holmes.
Come on up, Marietta. Want her in the middle, Your Honor?
Yes. All right, state. And it appears, I don't know if this is going to be a family violence case as well, because I see there's an injury to an elderly that's pending.
Yes, ma'am. They're not related.
Okay.
Well,
right.
it's the same complainant, but it's they're not, I mean, they're not
Family violence.
complaining witness and the defendant are related, right? No,
Yeah, so it won't be with family
I'm
violence.
sorry. I apologize.
No problem.
Give me a second. to figure it out.
So where are we on this case?
Judge, I saw a note in the file that there's a video and they're not referring to like a body worn video or a Coban video. It's a video. It's another type of video, maybe like a ring or something. I'm not sure what type of video it is. And I don't have it. So I would like to get some time so I could see if I could locate the video.
All right, other than that video, is there anything else for discovery?
No, ma'am, not, I don't think so.
And it's not on the docket yet, but the injury to an elderly, has discovery been turned over for that?
Your Honor, I believe it has. It has.
Okay.
I have information on it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
give me a 30-day reset on this for discovery.
We can do January 5th.
He's asking for something later than the 5th.
Is there another week
What
or
what
two?
date are you asking for?
Just, even just another 2 weeks later, a week later. You know what, Judge? I'm gonna make January 5th happen, because I have another case in this court, and it would just be easier on Norman and this court for me to be here.
I don't think January 5th is not a good date. Because that's a Friday.
You asked me to adopt.
Oh, that is so true. You're right. So January 5th.
I will be here in the morning.
All right, January 5th. Deputy Lawyer's like, what?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.
We're just gonna. I'm gonna give you mine. I'm gonna get yours.
Yeah.
Deputy Laura, I know we usually don't have things set on Friday so that attorneys will have a chance to confirm work. But because we're coming in later back in the new year, we need that date.
That's right, you're fine.
So this one you do. And the next.
Welcome to
Yeah,
you.
it's hard to see. Normally we reset on the internet.
That's fine. Thank you.
That's fine. I'll be here early. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on Victor Garcia,
Yes, ma'am.
we're gonna bring that back. Dr. Jimis did text me, but he's at a location where his cell phone reception is not good.
Okay.
So let's just put this towards the end of January. Anna,
Yes.
on Victor Garcia, Dr. Jimis texted me, but he said where he is, there's spotty cell phone reception. So I'm gonna put this at the end of January.
Okay.
And so that'll give us time to hopefully have records and all of that.
Perfect.
What date, Ms. Ferguson?
Judge, I think that's for your first.
All right, February 1st.
Perfect. That's it. That's what you do.
Okay. Mr. Garcia? Hi. We're gonna bring you, oh, you can come around. All right, Mr. Garcia? Hi. All right, so this is what's gonna happen with your case. I did text the doctor. The doctor's at a location where his cell phone reception is very spotty.
Okay,
So we're gonna bring you back on February 1st.
okay,
But if your attorney and if the state has everything they need before February 1st, they can always come in and set it earlier. You understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions about anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
My mom wanted to bond me out for the holidays. With the court date changers, they said stay the same.
Oh, no, it'll be the same. Ms. Ferguson, can you make sure he gets a reset form?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so they'll give you a reset form.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Ms. Boyd, thank you for everything.
Oh,
Have a blessed New Year.
All right, you too.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, thank you. They may not, are you taking him back now? Okay, all right, thank you. Yes. Oh, on this one.
Oh,
Yeah. No problem. Oh, no problem. That was a very tough case. And no, this is. Oh, sure. Oh, no problem. Oh, no. That's good. Thank you. Hello?
Thank you. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, sure. Igor Linsky,
Ms. Russell, I already told her you have a panel reading down. Okay.
are you all ready to proceed on this?
We're setting up for a contestant.
Okay, all right. Do you have all the discovery?
On the new number ones?
Yes.
No, Judge, they're both unfiled.
All right, State, do you have the discovery to tender on the new number ones? Will you have that to tender?
We, it's blood, Judge, so it might take a little while in the DWI.
Mhm.
We can't furnish that, so it depends when we get it, but I think the blood is gonna be outstanding for a little while.
And so, Judge, we would argue that he's in custody, he's unable to bond out right now. And so they should have probably waited to file the MTR until they were ready to proceed, and we're ready to proceed.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
can you set this for a contested hearing, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can do January 11th.
All right, January 11th.
Let me just make sure I don't have another trial setting. Give me just a minute. I already have 2 trial settings that day, both felonies. I
Okay.
prefer a different date if we could.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give us a different date?
Yes, ma'am. I can do the. I'm trying to see what I have. I can do the. The 25th.
All right, January 25th.
Yes, perfect.
And what time do you want to set that?
Y'all have any witnesses or anything?
We will,
You can do it about 11.
All right. Then it will be at 11 a.m. All right,
I expect it to take probably between 3 and 4 hours.
we'll put it at 11.
Okay.
Yes. And States, you need to make sure that she has the discovery on the failure to stop and give information and the DWI. Is there any other cases that you need discovery on?
No, Judge.
All right, so discovery, make sure she has the discovery on those 2 cases.
yes, ma'am.
I am the attorney of record on both of those other cases as well, so that should
Okay.
help resolve that. I'll set the meeting with you.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, we'll see you then.
Jason. Oh, yeah. Oh, if she gets it. Welcome. All the things.
For the third time. Okay.
Huh? What? Yeah.
Provided all this, but then you need a DPS because we usually it's.
I'm gonna hate this to, then, you know, something good about you, I'm gonna tell them, send an email to investigating.
Sure. Thank you. And ask them to see anything on it, so we can shoot back.
Okay.
All right, so where are we on this case?
Judge, it's my understanding that the defendant's gonna withdraw his plea. It was on 2023 CR 4112, but that the plea would still stand in 2023 CR 3934.
So what is gonna happen with the 4112? Is that going to trial?
We'll take it into consideration, Judge.
Okay,
So in essence, instead of pleading on 2, he's just gonna plea on the 1.
so he's pleading on the 3934?
Yes, the vehicle.
All right.
And
Yes, that's correct. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3934 and 2023 CR 4112. State of Texas versus Ernest Morales. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Anita Perez for the defense judge.
All right, and are you Mr. Morales?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and taking your plea, we discovered that you were not a US citizen. Is there any motions from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor, we would like the court, to withdraw the plea on the felon possession of firearm, cause number 2023 CR 4112. And I believe the state is, not opposed.
States are not opposed, Judge.
All right, and you're not opposed to being a or motion, correct?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will grant the motion to withdraw. And as both parties know, if someone is not a citizen and they have not been advised on the consequences of their plea, then a withdrawal is what is needed. And so I will grant the motion to withdraw in that case. Now, next we move on to 2023 CR 3934. Are you all proceeding with the plea in that cause number?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery in that case? I believe the no contest plea was already entered, correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, and count 2 was waived. And according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is silent on his application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No.
And have you had a chance to speak with an immigration attorney on behalf of Mr. Morales?
Yes, Judge. Sarah May is here. She's present in the courtroom as well. And she's also submitted to me a Padilla letter that admonishes Mr. Morales on his immigration consequences. And if the court wants me to go into that right now, or if the court wants me to go into it a little bit later, it's up to the board.
All right, so with regards to the waiver and admonitions, the defendant checked the box that he is a United States citizen. So my understanding, he is not a citizen, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so then the paperwork needs to be changed. So if you all can change this and initial it, please.
Yes. Put your initial there.
To the bottom.
But you're not.
Sorry, sir, I'm not going to share them. Okay.
Okay.
Just.
And what I'm going to do so that the record can be clear, I am going to re-admonish him just so everything is clear. All right? So, Mr. Morales, you understand that you're charged with the offense of theft, $30,000 to $150,000 of a vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? The court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I believe he does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I believe so.
Mr. Morales, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right, so, all right. Here's my question. Number one, what is your first language?
Spanish.
All right, would you be more comfortable with an interpreter?
No.
All right, so how long have you been in the United States?
Well, I was 11 years old when my mom brought me here. I'm 42.
All right, did you go to school here?
Yes.
All right, so are you able to communicate with me in English?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you been able to understand everything?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so here's the question. Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So counsel,
Yes,
has he been given the advice of an immigration attorney?
Yes, Judge. So we've talked it over with Sarah May, and I mean, if the court wants me to go into all his charges and all the deportable offense, like I can do that, Judge.
Yeah.
And you know,
Well, did he have ample time to speak with Ms. May?
yes, he has.
All right. Has he been advised of the consequences of entering a plea of no contest or guilty as it relates to his immigration status?
Yes, Judge.
Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, and the denial of naturalization?
That is correct, Judge. Yes.
Do you believe he understands the consequences of entering a plea in this case as it relates to his immigration issues?
Yes, he does.
Mr. Morales, have you had ample time and opportunity to speak with an immigration attorney about your status here in the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had ample time to speak to them about the consequences of entering a plea in this case as it relates to your immigration status?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did that consequences include things such as deportation, exclusion from the United States, and the denial of naturalization.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the consequences of entering a plea of guilty or no contest as it relates to your immigration status here in the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And then the plea bargain agreement that you previously reached with the state will still stand. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you understand the plea bargain agreement you reached with the state was for a cap of 9 years, and the state was silent on your application. Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the state is now taking it in consideration. Cause number 2023 CR 4112. Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state and defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report, state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No,
Any
Judge.
witnesses from the state or the defense?
None from the state, Judge.
All right, then the state is silent. The court will hear argument, defense.
Yes, Judge. So my client, he's 42 years old. He's from Nicaragua. He's got one prior felony conviction, and that was back in 2010. It was a 39-day jail sanction for possession of controlled substance. And then he had an evading arrest back in 2007, where he served 100 days jail. We are asking for probation, Judge. He's only been to prison one other time. He doesn't want to go to prison. Obviously, that was 13 years ago. He's 42 years old. He has 3 kids, 2 of which are adulted out, and he's got an 11-year-old that's still underage. He does work as a roofer. He's worked most of it. Well, obviously, he's worked all of his adult life. I have spoken to his boss on several occasions. He was not able to be here today, Judge. I can proffer that he would testify that he has a job rep for him, because he has told me numerous times that he will give him a job because he's a good worker. He is not a citizen, so we talked about that with Ms. May. He has a deferred adjudication on the controlled substance charge. He doesn't have a deferred adjudication on the theft charge, which is why we're applying for deferred adjudication on this particular charge, Judge, because it significantly will impact and it'll improve his chances of not being deported if he should be granted deferred adjudication. Notwithstanding, my client obviously regrets what he did. I don't know if you want to tell the court about what happened that day, and just kind of let her know. I'll
right.
defer to my client.
Okay, before we get to that, I don't see in the PSI report, excuse me, that he's ever been to prison. So has he been to
It's state
prison?
jail. It was state jail, Judge.
No,
39
it doesn't
days.
even show him being to prison for a state jail. The state jail, he was placed on deferred adjudication. Then it said probation expired.
2010.
So I don't see that. That one, that was 39 days, but not in the state jail facility because it was only 39 days. So that had to have been in the Bexar County Jail.
Well, but that's the only felony conviction that he has, Judge.
Okay.
So, I mean, I.
No.
Yeah.
It counts as a felony conviction, but I just didn't see it.
I mean, yeah, it was a short, I don't know if you were on.
I never been to prison, I've been to DC state jail. Oh, and like that.
All right, do you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ernesto Morales.
All right, is there anything you would like to say?
Yes, Your Honor. Like,
to begin, I'm 42 years old. I got into this trouble with these people because I owed them some money. You know, I owed them like about almost $3,500. They had loaned me the money to get an apartment, you know, and get my life, you know. Well, the time came to pay them. I didn't have the money to pay them back, and I just started working back at the roofing for a living, you know. I was like forced to do what I did, you know, in order to pay that money back.
What do you mean forced to do what you did? Did somebody have a gun to your head and say, hey, take the U-Haul?
Yes, pretty much, because
I mean, it's not pretty much, did somebody do that?
yes, because I owe them the money, you know, I owe them $3,500.
All right, so here's the thing. If you commit an offense, I mean, I've never had this happen to me, but I know from law school and from the law, if you commit an offense, I mean, not killing anyone, but if somebody pulls a gun on your head, you know, holds a gun to your head and says, hey, you better take this U-Haul, then that's a defense.
That's pretty much.
So state, he's saying someone forced him to take the U-Haul.
That's pretty much what happened. And so I did it, right? And that was my way of paying him back the money that he had loaned me. You know,
All right, I tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let you sit and talk to your attorney, all right? Because what you're telling me.
I don't want this over tonight, you know. I mean,
Well, no,
today,
no,
you
no,
know,
but here's the thing. I like for people to have a chance to communicate with their attorneys. You just told me that someone forced you at gunpoint to commit this offense. I want you to discuss that with your attorney because this may be the first time your attorney's hearing that. I don't know that. So just, we're still here. We'll be here till 12, but discuss that with your attorney, okay? So I'll have you step back in the box to discuss that with your attorney. Everyone, we're taking our recess at 12.
Yes, stop me. Sorry. You know, I did it.
Renee Rodriguez. Hello. It's always great seeing you.
Oh, it's nice to hear.
You are here for trial back to back and then you disappear.
There's a reason, because I'm like.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, come on down. So today is the plea deadline date. What are we doing?
We have a new offer today, and we'd
Okay.
like to request an extension to see, I feel like we're getting close here.
All right, I'll give you an extension for a plea deadline date. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on this case, can you recall this back next week? For an extension on the plea deadline date?
I'm on your docket the Tuesday,
Okay,
right? The 12th?
Yeah, you should be.
all right, can we put it down for the 12th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on the 12th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer. You understand? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Just have a seat, sir.
And Norma, we might as well say the people who are coming back is Ayub on page 1.
Okay.
Unless Mr. Callahan is finished with Zuniga. You ready on Zuniga?
I didn't hear you.
Are you ready on Zuniga? All right. All right. Chapman is going to come back.
Give me 1 second, Judge. I think he sent me his email saying he was. Well, I'll look for it. Go ahead.
Okay. Gibson,
Okay.
Alicia Small. Okay, just 1 second. Zachary Guerrero,
Okay. Did you do Alicia Small, Judge?
No, she left.
Yeah.
She was here and she left.
Maldonado, Brian Maldonado.
Judge, that one was reset to March fifth. You gave him a trial date. He came in early.
Okay, and it's in the file, correct?
Yes, it's in the
Okay.
file.
All right, so that one's done. Joe Pettis, which I've already stated. Clarissa Shepherd,
My attorney's had a trial or something somewhere else. He was supposed to see another attorney.
He's sending a Rochelle over, but he said that she applied for pre-trial.
okay, we'll take care of that in just a second. And then Christopher Esquivel.
And I was making a trial announcements in another county.
All right, everyone, just give me 5 minutes. Judge Brown? Hi, can I see you in the back? All right, everyone, just give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Oh, he's in. Not yet. Oh.
I'll put on him without because she left.
She did. She got here late. She got here at 9:30. She left. She talked to her. Yeah, it's. I don't think she's being back. Did show up. Who's here? Yeah.
Can I have him down with the check mark? If he can call me. And our folks was running late. He's in Canal County. And so
That's
he's
why we
making
helped
the
her back out.
trial announcements, and then he said he would come down.
Please be seated. All right, y'all ready to proceed on Morales? All right, come on up. Okay. So have you had a chance to speak with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say with regards to what he stated?
Yes, Judge. Well, as we talked about before, Mr. Morales is not a US citizen. And so obviously, getting to this point, to this plea, and the reason why we are pleading to this charge versus the other charges, It has to do everything with his immigration status. So even if the state could prove he was, or even if we could prove that he was innocent of one, he, you know, is guilty on the other ones, so.
Okay, so
That's
what,
our rationale.
all right,
For our plea bargain agreement, Judge.
because what's in the PSI report is different from what he told me. What's in the PSI report is that, yes, he was struggling financially. And it's on page 9 of the PSI report. He said he owed a debt to someone, offered him a job to pay off his debt, which was to go steal a truck. That's different from somebody put a gun to my head and said,
No, I mean,
take this truck.
that didn't really happen, you know, like, I mean, I owed them the money, but they didn't really like, you know.
All right, so why are you making me believe that somebody put a gun to your head, or at least trying to make me believe that someone put a gun to your head and said, go steal these trucks?
I'm nervous, to be honest with you, and to be honest with you, I just want to ask you, like, I'm 42 years old. I have 3 daughters, you know, my daughters, one day married, you know, like, my youngest one, she's 11. She depend on me.
But I mean, you're
I'm
out
not-
here stealing.
It's wrong what I did, you know, and like, I mean, it's been 10 years since the last time I got in trouble. You know, I completed probation once, and I was gonna ask you, I was gonna beg you, I'm willing to take 20 years probation.
Oh, we don't do that
I'm
here.
willing to take the monitor. I'm willing to take drug tests every day. I'm willing to take community service and AA classes. It was a mistake that I made, you know.
No, it's not a mistake. It's choices you made. These are choices. These are not mistakes. So you made choices. You made choices to steal the U-Haul. And honestly, I'm seriously thinking about sending you to prison. But what I'm weighing against sending you to prison is the fact that, yes, you have a state jail felony drug case and you were given misdemeanor punishment for it. But what I'm thinking about is the fact that there's restitution that's owed. There is $1,800 owed to U-Haul.
I'm willing to pay all that.
There is $5,100 that's owed to Shane Drake, and I know that these people want their money.
I will pay all that back.
No, I mean, don't make promises that you're not intending to keep, all right?
Like, that's on my kid's life, Your Honor.
Oh,
Like,
no, 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 no. Don't be throwing stuff on your children's life. That is not a good look, and that's not a good sign when people say, I do everything on my child's life. Your child don't want whether you complete something or not to depend on their life, because I'm sure you said when you had probation for drug cases, on my child's life, I will never use again. And what I'm looking at, some more possession less than a gram case. On my child's life, I will complete this possession less than a gram case. And what ends up happening? You really didn't complete it well. So don't come to me with on my child's life. I'm sure with this evading arrest, this misdemeanor case, on my child's life, I'll never pick up another case again. So don't come to me with on my child's life. If you want to bet on somebody's life, bet on your own life.
right. It's been 10 years, Your Honor, since the last time I got in trouble.
You know when the last time I got in trouble for a criminal case?
Never,
Yeah. You know when the last time your attorney got in trouble for a criminal case?
never,
You know when the last time he got trouble for a criminal case?
never,
You know the last time the deputy got in trouble for a criminal case?
never.
So don't come here with me with the last time I got into trouble for a criminal case is 10 years ago, like that's something fantastic. When you're put on this planet, all you have to do is follow the rules. And it's not like you committing an offense and it's some civil disobedience or something else is going on. You're just being selfish.
Right. The only reason to, Your Honor, why I'm here in front of you, because these charges are from February, right? So February, March, April, I came out on April, I think, on a PR bond, right? ICE picked me up. Immigration picked me up from here when I got released on April. Well, they released me an hour later, you know, what? back then, I didn't know that when they released me, I was supposed to report back.
But let's start with this. Why did immigration pick you up?
Because I'm not a citizen.
No, there are plenty of people who are residents. You're a resident.
Yeah, I'm a
So
resident.
why did they pick you up?
Because of my charges.
Yeah. So it's not like immigration just popped up and like, oh,
No.
let's see who's a rep. That's why they pick you up. So don't come with.
Well, I mean, I didn't know they picked me up because of my charges, Because my thing, it was expired, But when they released me, I didn't know I was supposed to, like report, like they never told me, well, we're gonna release you, but you still gotta report back, Now that the immigration lawyer, was here, now I know.
Let me just tell you, I really don't think you're a good candidate for probation. Counsel, if you want to bring in his employer, you're more than welcome to do that. Maybe I'll think about it, but I don't think he's a good candidate with the information I have right now. So if you want to have his employer come in to testify, we can recall this for Monday. His employer can come in.
They're not gonna come, Your Honor. I'll be completely honest with you. They're not. I mean, they're willing to hold me like out there when I'm out there, but when it comes down to like them, being all around these, I'm being completely honest with you. They're not gonna come. They're not.
All right. So why wouldn't they come?
Because they don't like to be involved, like in all this stuff. I mean, they will help me if I'm out there, you know what I mean? But like to be honest with you, like completely honest with you, I'm not even gonna waste your time. Or I'm not even gonna waste my time. I know for a fact they will not come. That's for a fact,
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2023 CR 4112, 2023 CR 4111. There's to be restitution to U-Haul in the amount of $1,839.99. That includes $179.70 for the loss of use, $11.57 fee for mileage rate, $908.54 for the tow charge, and $740.18 for repairs. Now, with regards to Shane Drake, nobody's had any contact with him. They say monetary loss of the victim resulting in this offense for him, they say $0. But then they're saying the amount of the items stolen is $5,141.29. And they say that those items were recovered. All right, is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Morales?
Just, if I can address it for.
Sure.
So with respects to the, it'll be a conviction.
Yes.
Obviously that changes the immigration deportable offenses standards. We were originally asking for a deferred adjudication, on that particular charge. Because it would make it less on his immigration status. I don't know if the court can reconsider.
No.
Let us continue.
I mean, he said his witnesses are not coming. No. I'm sentencing him to the 3 years. And I've given him less than he bargained for. So that's what I'm sentencing him to. Okay, all right. Good luck to you.
All right. Mr. Keller. You have to sort of.
One thirty.
Sorry, I thought it was yours. No, I thought it was yours.
No, sir, thank you.
I printed for you. I can help you.
Did she say she was leaving? No, tell her I have. Hold on.
Sorry, these guys are leaving, sorry.
Oh.
But you're here for someone, right?
Judge gone already. She's coming back. Oh, there she is.
All right, is anybody ready? Because we're gonna take our break.
I gave you the files, Judge, there was 3 of them I gave you.
Okay.
Me.
All right,
Ready.
Clarissa Shepherd.
He has the PTB form,
Has it been filled out?
yes, and it's submitted.
She was accepted, the fees were paid, Judge.
All right, what date?
I can do February, January 18th.
All right, we're gonna come back on January 18th.
Okay.
All right, sign the reset form and you're excused.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Alicia Small,
Your Honor,
where's Miss Small?
I'd like to know that too.
All right, we're gonna find out. Court is calling 2022 CR 10402, State of Texas versus Alicia Don Small. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense?
Gay for Miss Small.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 12 p.m. Defense, your client has not made any appearance in court today. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, she is not in the hallway. She was here earlier this morning. She's gone.
She was here for most of the morning, until I had to go to the 227. When I came back, she wasn't here, so.
So let me check the docket. Just 1 second. What page is she on? All right. Well, what I can tell you, she's on page 32. When I called the docket, she was late. She was not here, but Deputy Laura is telling me that she did show.
Yes, she came in at 9:30 this
All right. So she came in at 9:30 this morning, then she left.
Yeah, and I met with her and I had to leave. It was about over an hour later to go to another court and come back.
All right. What I can tell you is it looks more and more like we're going to be back here at 1:30. If you have your client back here at 1:30, then all will be fine.
Okay.
If she's not back here at 1:30, then a warrant may be issued for her arrest.
And Your Honor, I was done with court this morning, I can come back. If she shows up, can the court call me and have me come? Or do you want me here?
If you could come here, please,
Okay,
because we'll need to go on the record.
okay.
All right, 1:30. Renee Rodriguez. Oh, that's scheduled for January 12th. Michelle Zuniga. Court is calling 2018 CR 8416, State of Texas versus Michelle Marie Zuniga. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Callahan defense.
Are you Ms. Zuniga?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Michelle Marie Zuniga who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 8416 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 gram to 4 grams on July 12th, 2019 for a period of 4 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 1. On or about the first day of November 2023 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Michelle Marie Zuniga, committed the offense of possession of controlled substance, PG1, in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 1. On or about the first day of November 2023 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Michelle Marie Zuniga, committed the offense of prohibited substance correction in a correctional facility in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, the state waives and abandons the other violations alleged in the motions.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading to those violations, the court could find them true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 1 and 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violations 1 and 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking that you revoke the defendant and adjudicate her guilty. The state will TIC the new offenses, which are Nightmag 736687, Nightmag 736688, Nightmag 736690, Nightmag 736691. And we're asking for 4 years in the prison, Judge.
All right. Counsel, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you asking me to follow that agreement?
Your Honor.
Are you asking me to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor. May I address the court?
Yes.
She wishes to address the court briefly.
Sure.
I just wanted to say that, I just wanted to ask for help, because bro, I have a drug problem, and I have to I help take care of my mom, and being locked up ain't gonna do me any good, because I'm not gonna be able to take care of her. And I was actually doing pretty good. I was working for Boost Mobile and taking care of my mother, but I fell off by getting back into the streets and doing bad again, and that's not what I want to do anymore.
All right. Well, what I can tell you is this is your third motion to revoke. So I have helped you as much as I can help you. And being addicted to drugs is not you providing good health care or good relief for your mom.
Yeah, that's why I want to ask for help.
Okay. All right. Do I have the trial court certification?
I don't know, Your Honor. I didn't fill one out.
All right. All right, so are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
Are you asking me to follow this agreement?
Yes.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court is finding violations 1 and 1 true. Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Take in consideration Nightmag number 736687, 736688, 736690, 736691. And I'll request for you the therapeutic community. You're gonna have to request it as well if you really want help. It's up to them whether they include you in the program. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you complete your parenting classes? No. Right? Is that the answer? Did you complete it? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
All right. So you haven't done anything that I've tried to help you with. So you're revoked. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, can you have her do the trial court certification?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll go over that with her. And after we do this trial court certification, we're on break. Mr. Wolf?
Yes, Judge.
Your client still hasn't provided a UA.
He says he's ready now, Judge. I got him some water from downstairs in the cafeteria.
Okay, we'll let him do his UA, but we're gonna have to take our lunch break.
Absolutely, Judge.
Sure.
Judge, I just want to make sure that he's able to go. He's already used 2 of my cups.
He asked me before we walked into court this morning, Judge, I gotta go pee. Should I wait or not wait? I'm like, well, you might want to be tested, but you really had to pee, so that's why.
Okay.
Got nothing in the ass.
All right, so there's not to be any more wasting of cups. Are you gonna pay for those cups? You understand?
Have a seat. A little bit.
Oh, thank you. Rashawn, it's Merry Christmas to Deputy Mahia.
Approach your bench.
Yes. Let's show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. How old is your mom?
She's 60.
All right, so if you have no intention of being clean and sober, do not go to her doorstep making promises. Just come over and say hi to her. Happy Mother's Day, happy birthday when you are negative for drugs, and then leave. Because I guarantee you, every time you come over, you break her heart, and that's not helping her health. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, so we'll be back at 1:30. Thanks, Diana. I missed that one.
No, this is a new one. I had it in the box and I pulled it,
That's okay.